Hey everybody, welcome to Pod Me If You Can. I'm David Farrell. Today on the show, the film is Take, with Minnie Driver and Jeremy Renner.
Pod Me If You Can, movie reviews.
Anna, Minnie Driver, plays a mother that has lost her son at the hands of a gambling addict, Saul, played by Jeremy Renner. Now, years after the tragedy, he is facing the death penalty, and Anna is driving cross-country to make sure he gets it. At the beginning of the film, we get a quick few shots. Minnie Driver's character is in some kind of facility, and Jeremy Renner's character is seemingly facing the death penalty. He's in a cell, getting ready for, the end. And she gets on the phone, speaks to a man who says it won't bring him back. And you can piece together from this information that possibly her son has died, who we see in the next scene, and Jeremy Renner seems the obvious one who's done it. Now this is in the opening few minutes of the film. Then we have to wait as the whole thing unfolds exactly how you imagine it will. And unfortunately, it is exactly what you think it's going to be in those first few minutes. I will say what I liked about the film was its gritty look. It was a quality looking film. Jeremy Renner clearly thought this was going to be like Dead Man Walking, the Sean Penn film, where a man at the end of his life, he's, facing the ultimate death and staring it in the face rather, and, an acting performance was required here. He plays one of those storage locker guys that auctions off the stuff left in storage lockers, like a reality TV series. Her child is on the verge of being in special education, which just makes her love him even more and want to try even more. And it's meant to set up more tragically that this child was taken sort of too early. But the tragedy comes later. In my mind, watching the whole film, all I could think was, he's accidentally shot this kid. At some point he's fired a gun, it's gone through a wall or something like that, and this kid has been in the wrong place at the wrong time. The way the child actually dies is much more horrific. Now, I think some effort was made so that we would sympathise with Jeremy Renner's character. We meet his father, we see the gambling debt collector types who want to break his arms and legs and, use your imagination what we're going to do to you. This is the thing. It's very hard to sympathise with him because I guess we don't. The whole time we're thinking he's going to kill this child. And it feels like the way we've been introduced to him, knowing it, seeing too much of the end, really, doesn't help us sympathise with him at all. And all of the time Minnie Driver's character is travelling to go and see him be executed. Feels like it's padding. The whole film is just fluff and filler. She's travelling, she gets a flat tire, none of it means anything, none of it progresses anything. She's alone now, we get that, we could have seen that in one scene. However, she travels the whole way to confront him and see him and whether or not he dies. This is the other thing, he only owes $2,000 in debt, in his gambling debt. $2,000 and they're going to break his legs. This doesn't feel like enough money for me. You could get $2,000 on a small loan. You could probably sell stuff. I know he doesn't have a lot, but he jumps straight to, he doesn't have any options. He's got to go into crime, and that seems crazy for $2,000. While he's waiting to be put to death, Jeremy Renner's character has to talk to this minister who keeps saying things are God's plan. And that doesn't wash either. This all feels like padding because he's not going to be convinced. He's not going to turn around and go, yeah, I shot a child, but God's plan. Also making it hard for us to attach ourselves to this material, it feels like there's a Minnie Driver film and a Jeremy Renner film, and almost never the two shall meet. Very, very end of the movie they get a scene together, but otherwise, it's like railroad tracks. He's such a dumb and desperate criminal as well that he's picking up his father's prescription at a pharmacy that's connected to a supermarket. And look, he picks it up, they know his last name, they know his address, and then he pulls out a gun and decides to rob the cashier at the supermarket. He's that desperate and stupid that he can't go down the street to another supermarket where he hasn't just picked up a prescription. It's that sort of sloppy and tiring. Can you imagine if he had gotten away with it? He gets away with it and they go, well, who was that guy? Oh, wait, we have his address and details right here. The mistake comes from when he decides he needs to leave and he takes the kid with him. He kidnaps her child and puts him in the boot of the car. And none of that makes any sense. Like, he could have gotten outside to the car, let the kid go when he gets in the driver's seat, and driven away. He doesn't need to kidnap this child. He's just escalating the charges against him. Now, leaving the kid in the boot means that when he has an accident, the child is trapped and he runs away. No one knows the child is in there, and he essentially, use your imagination, because it's gory in your mind, You're seeing the boot of this car and you're not seeing who's in it, and if he's bleeding to death, if he has a head wound, you don't know. Whatever the case, he can't speak, and we get these muffled gasps and death, and it feels like torture at that point of the film. It feels unnecessary, It feels like too gratuitous and full on. So I guess it did its job. This isn't an entertaining movie. This is like a movie with a message, because the text comes up at the end of the screen and it's about offenders not re-offending by meeting the victims. And it talks about how that's been an effective thing. When people see and put faces on the victims of their crimes, they don't repeat these offences. Look, the acting here is fine. Its performances were good enough. The thing is, I suppose, it feels unsatisfying because everything unfolds the way you think it will. And it's a bit depressing, because killing kids in movies is always depressing. I realise this isn't a perfect movie, and these things happen sometimes, but the way we're introduced to the end at the beginning didn't work here. The format of the film didn't work for me. The look was great. There's this cool shot where he has like a point of view on his gun that I thought was great. The thing is, it's a pretty hollow kind of story that feels a bit torturous at times, and hard to recommend as entertainment, but interesting if you like Jeremy Renner. There's about an hour of padding though, so it feels a little empty. You're just waiting to get to the moment. That is too much, even though you know it's coming. So it's an uneven film.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.
Pod Me If You Can is brought to you by The Glove by Australian author David Farrell. Head to facebook.com/theglovebook for more information.